Good morning, Principal Ma'am, esteemed faculty members, fellow peers, and distinguished guests. Welcome to today's seminar prepared by the Economic Department on Viksit Bharat 2047, a journey towards envisioning a developed India. I am Kushmeen Kaur from Economic Honors first year.
And I'm Sakshi Rawat from Economics Honors second year. Today we have gathered here to explore a vision where India stands as a beacon of progress, prosperity, and inclusivity. Viksit Bharat encapsulates not just a concept, but a collective aspiration for economic growth, social justice, technological advancement, and environmental sustainability.
Shortly, we'll delve into the various dimensions of Viksit Bharat, examining challenges, opportunities, and strategies. Through discussions, presentations, and interactive sessions, we aim to inspire action and sow the seeds of change. We would like to invite our Mr. Mehtamani Singh to facilitate our principal, Dr. Vidya Datta, with plans. We, we would like to invite our principal, Dr. Vidya Datta, to welcome our guest with Planters and Bhavan's publications.
Please welcome Dr. Bhavan. Let's welcome our next guest, Dr. Vivek Kumar Raja.
We would like to invite our Dr. Mehtamani Singh to facilitate our principal, Dr. Vidya Datta, with planters.
Now let's extend a warm welcome to our principal, whose vision drives our college towards excellence to facilitate the guest. Now we would like to invite Dr. Geet to introduce our today's guest.
Thank you so much, Sakshi. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, respected faculty members, and dear students. I am Dr. Geet, Assistant Professor, Bharat Vidya, Bhavan College, and on the behalf of the entire Department of Economics, I welcome you all to this enlightening gathering on Billion Dreams $1 trillion economy, India's journey towards Viksit Bharat at the rate of 2047. Please allow me to introduce our senior most speaker, Dr. Vivek Kumar Rajat, Associate Professor in the Department of Economics at Dayal Singh College, University of Delhi. Dr. Rajat brings over 2 decades of teaching experience and wealth of academic achievements. His expertise spans labor economics, development economics, environmental economics, Indian economy, and political economics. Dr. Rajat's deep understanding of economic and social challenges is reflected in his significant contributions to research and academia, with numerous publications and leadership roles in seminars and workshops. Thank you, sir, for being here. Our second guest, Dr. Devesh Vivar, is an assistant professor at the prestigious Delhi School of Economics. His expertise in agricultural economics and research includes notable work with the Planning Commission of India. Dr. Vivar has been recognized for his contributions, including as a guest speaker at RBI on green financing. He has also led several workshops, research projects, and authored publications in esteemed journals. He has also chaired sessions in national as well as international conferences. Welcome, Dr. Vivar. Last but certainly not the least, our third speaker, Dr. Sapna Bansal, brings over 19 years of teaching experience as an assistant professor at the Department of Commerce, Sri Ram College of Commerce, University of Delhi. Specializing in management, human resources, and entrepreneurship, Dr. Bansal's accolades include receiving the International Women Excellence Award for 7 consecutive years. Her extensive contributions also include several research papers, publications, and esteemed journals. Now, please join me in giving our guests a warm welcome with a big round of applause. And that's the invitation now, please.
Now, I would like to invite our principal ma'am, Dr. Vidya, to address this event.
Thank you so much. A very good morning, our esteemed guests on the panel, dear faculty members and students. I'm very happy to see, the initiative taken by the economics department of the college, which is a very small department and a very new department, to organize this one-day seminar on Billion Dreams $1 trillion economy, India's journey towards Viksit Bharat at the rate 2047. Now we keep on hearing about this thing. India is developing, and there has been a huge, you could say, impetus to the growth potential. There are huge capital investments done by the government, and which are expected to give a huge fillip to the employments and overall income generation, etc., etc. And on the other side, हम ये भी सुनते हैं कि पॉवर्टी बढ़ती जा रही है, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट बढ़ता जा रहा है. So what is the reality? Where is our economy? Where is our country headed? Now, we as economics or commerce or students of this country need to have this understanding that what is actually happening. As they said, statistics is a double-edged sword. Statistics can be used in any way you want. If you want to prove something, you can do it with statistics. And if you want to prove the counterpoint, again, you can do it with statistics very effectively. So I'm very happy that we have very key prominent people amongst us here who are there to throw light on this very interesting and intriguing theme. We have Dr. Vivek Rajak, Dr. Sapna Bansal, and Dr. Devesh Birbal who are here with us. I am very happy and honored that you are here with us, and let us give them a huge round of applause. I'm very happy to, I'm very sure that this session is going to be fruitful, not just for our students who will be going out in the world of work. Some of them, say in another 1 year from now, the others maybe in 2 years from now. So students, please gear up. The place and the word which you are going to enter the place of word of work is not a very friendly place. You have to, prepare yourself with all the knowledge that you can gather and with all the skills that you can have. So let us give a warm welcome to our panelists and let us start the discussion. I am personally looking forward to it because I have been a student of commerce as well as economics, but left the field, not left the field, I mean, given prominence to certain other things, but I would really want to understand कि हो क्या रहा है economy में. Okay, thank you very much.
With an esteemed guest and enthusiastic audience, I'm confident this seminar will foster insightful dialogue and actionable ideas. Let's engage with open minds and a shared commitment to realizing the vision of Viksit Bharat. We will have a question answer session at the end of the seminar, so hold your curiosity till the end of the session.
Now let's start this seminar by inviting our first guest, Dr. Devesh Bilwal, to share his insights on navigating India's journey to the third largest economy by 2030. Let's have a round of applause.
First of all, I want to thank the Vidya Bhavan and the economics department here, who have organized such a innovative, such a interesting talk about where we are and how we are growing in the current era. As our principal, and I also want to thank the principal here, the Dr. Gitika Datta ma'am, who is also an alumni to DSE. It's a really pleasure to meet her here and other faculty members as well as the students here. So this topic, the current topic here is really important. And when I saw my last visit to Moscow, and there I was invited to address the state university there, and I saw the various other country representatives were there, and they were addressing about their own country. They were telling about their achievements, their thoughts, and with every talk, they were also talking about the India. And that was not at all a very prominent thing. They were talking about very rubbish and very the all negative things about the India. So that was the first day I was feeling that is this really a India which they were talking about? Is this a really India which, being an economics, being a policy maker, being a researcher, we also sometimes think the negative things about our nation. Definitely, why? Because if we won't talk about that, we cannot improve those things. So I am not saying that there are no negative things about the present time in India, as the principal ma'am have been talk about this. This was really challenge before us, that how to deal with the unemployment things, how to deal with the inflation things, how we should deal with the present the stagnation point of the things, which is there after certain policies which have been implemented during the last few years, or you can say for few decades. But it is also truth that we have achieved a lot since independence. So my the entire presentation about the achievement of India since independence. So if you go to the next slide. So if you see the entire this presentation have been divided into the two main focus here. If you see the journey of India and how it is relevant in Asia and the world here. So if you see the entire the last decade since independence, we have been continuously growing with on an average more than 5% this with a decade. So that is really which is not the case with many other developing nations. They are the in a different periods. If you talk about the financial crisis, if you talk about the liberalization crisis, if you talk about the other the period where it was really a trouble period, they won't able to survive their economy. They won't able to get they get rid of those problems. But India has a very diverse economy. India has an agriculture economy. India has the industrial economy. India got the service sector since 1950, if you 1991, since you see the call centers and the other sectors have been emerged after this. So if you see this entire period of journey of India, I have been divided into the agrarian epoch, the industrialization of economic planning, liberalization and globalization, information technology and service sector boom, and the demographic dividend and skill development, how we have developed our skill. Because if you see the development of skills in terms of education and in terms of the that was very important, which have been improved a lot. And the new age of AI, information technology, and all those things which have been evolved here the after the recent period. If we talk about the agrarian epoch, so this is if you see the our roots, which was agrarian roots in 1950, our agriculture was very backward. So if you see the even only food grain production, it was 30 million tons to now 350 million tons in the current. So only if we talk about the food grain production, we forget about the other mentha. Now we are dealing with the mentha, the sugar cane, and many cottons, oil seeds, the many other different type of crop which have been improved, and this have been improved with the with if you see the 1960 65 was a period of the green revolution implementation, and that was a period where the high yield variety seeds have been introduced with the new technology, with the introduction of the mechanizations into the agriculture, which have been drastically improved the agriculture, and where you can see the growth is really difficult, because you have some scarce resources like land. Fine, you cannot increase land at all, but you have increased productivity in a very 10 or 20, 12 times fold increase into that. And if you see the industrialization and economic planning, since if you again see in 1950, when we talk about the even agriculture, this green revolution, which required a mechanization, which required the fertilizer, pesticide, lots of the other industry which need to be involved. And at that time of independence, our industries were very backward. We had very less produced from there, so there need to be invest into the lots of the public sector, in terms of if you see the railways which have been evolved in that period, if you see the steel industry, coal industry, petroleum industry, which was very needed at that time to see the growth in this sector. So industrial sector have been evolved a lot in that period. 1990 was a period when we was really in a trouble, that we don't have even a 1 week for an exchange. So at that time, Dr. Manmohan Singh was a finance minister. So he brings certain the new innovative thoughts and uh, get rid of this the license raj and many other things. And in this in this change, with that change, there have been a very high increase in the service sector. If you see the call center, this technological sector have been evolved in that period. The which you have seen in Bangalore, Hyderabad, and all those Delhi NCR places where you find lots of multinational companies have been evolved in during that period. So it was not only for India which have been achieved during that period, but also for the neighboring countries, the other countries have been gained with the openness on the moving from the closed economy to the open economy. This was really an the improved thing. Uh, Global Technical Hub, if you see the outsourcing boom, we have started outsourcing lots of things. India's role in the India has stabilized the Asia in the technological hub and demand creation. Of course, when we have lots of increase in the national income and the employment and those things, so we have demand for lots of other commodities, which may be from domestic as well as international commodities. So lots of trade started happen after that period. Fine. So that is another achievement. If you see, this is the another slide which I want to start with. I was talking about the diverse economy India has. If you see here, during the COVID period also, initially you can find there is a continuous decline in agriculture, the dependence of agriculture in terms of employment. But in the during the COVID period, you can find that there is an increase in the employment in agriculture. So lots of these unemployed people have been catered by the agriculture. This kind of a diverse the industries, diverse economy we have, we can overcome with lots of these shocks, lots of with this trouble, this by catering either in the service sector and this all. So this demographic dividend, the more skilled people we have, we exhaust in any kind of sector, any kind of industry. So far, with the quick improvement in our the skills and overall those things. So that is another achievement. It was also talked about the many people there in the Moscow that India is contributing to the lots of this carbon emission. So I counter them. I said that it's a period of growth for India. Fine, we are growing, and at the time when you were growing, you have been contributed lots of this carbon emission. And if you compare that carbon emission and the carbon emission we are contributing very less. We are the fifth largest in terms of the solar energy. We are fifth largest in terms of the hydro energy. We are the sixth largest in terms of the other the this renewable energy. So all you can see the and it's continuously increasing. So we are definitely it's a time when we are developing ourselves. We require energy, and that energy also contribute to the carbon emission. Fine, but we are very very alert in that sense because we don't want to contribute a lot to the carbon emission. So we are switching our energy intake in terms of electric, in terms of solar, in terms of the other renewable energy sources which cannot be contributed to the carbon emission. So I counted for them that. And if you see the financial inclusions and digital innovation, if you see the even before COVID and during COVID, lots of this shift towards the digital payments and digital things, which again may have certain problems because we don't have that uh, the lot of secure payment gateway so far, but we are dealing with it. And lots of this payment now, if you see, that's in terms of this, and which is somewhere catering with the problem, lots of the black economy and the other problems which we had initially. So in that light, the Jan Dhan Yojana and the other the schemes have been very important. And if you see the linking Asia plans, where we are making this north south corridor, the east west corridor, we are contributing to in connecting the nations by roads, and which can be reduce this transporting goods from one country to other country. There is a lots of decline in that cost, and which can definitely help the all these nations in taking a different type of the source of the goods and other the technology in their country. Fine. So that is and if you see the make in India, which is again we should protect our country. It's not an initiative you can see a recent time only. It was previously also there. If when we had an import substitution plan, when we had lots of contribution to our small scale industries to helping them in producing more. So nowadays it's a flagship program where we are supporting our the different the industries which is producing here in the India, and also in the GST, one nation one tax policy. Initially, there are lots of tax policy which was somewhere problematic for lots of the industry people or the people who are into the business. So they could not able to get the idea of where we are and how much times we are paying the tax, the sales tax, the other value-added taxes. They are paying lots of these taxes. Then one nation, one tax in terms of GST have been given of this freedom or benefit to the not only the producers but also consumer. Now you can see the lots of goods have been now cheaper in terms of this. Although still there is lots of slabs which we have. So we should also deal with this, that we should not have lots of slab here which we have here. So we should also talk about that. There are problems, but still this GST has been a very important aspect which here the digital Bharat in terms of AI technology, the web technology. Now you can see India, the Bangalore, the Hyderabad is a techno hub, which is giving employment to the lots of youth this period here. So and that is outsourcing and providing this technology to the even the other nations also. So we have that capabilities that we can increase our this producing lots of software, lots of getting benefit of this digital world, and we can definitely get that benefit. So now, if you see the second part where we are talking about the yeah. So if you see the economic position here, after so much of growth, now we have left behind this UK, and now we are the fifth largest nation in the world. Fine. So our in the improvement in terms of although this fifth is very far away from first and second. Fine, which is a very we need to go a lot so even now, but so far we have improved. We have got lots of this economic this thing. So if you see the this is another advantage we have, that if you count in a word, so every sixth or seventh there is one this statement which is very popular, that every fifth and sixth person is Indian in the world. So diaspora is the another advantage we have, because to connect with the other nations we require lots of connectivity, and that can be bring with the this diaspora, the Indian diaspora we have. The India's diplomacy, strategic diplomacy, dual purpose, beneficial outcomes, all the those we have. Space diplomacy, we have already get this the Chandrayaan and all those, and now we have collaborate with Vietnam, and we are helping them to achieve all those things, and we have set up our office there, and we are also moving other places. Also, we are helping the other nations in different tsunamis and this which will increasing our global comparison disaster relief this index and all. So out of all those debates where we are presently, of course economically, if we talk about this, so you can see the this here in their terms, we are between the 1 trillion to 3 trillion economy, and the other nations are very far away from us. So we are the fifth largest nation, and if you see the trade, so 50 to 100%, sorry, 20 to 50% trade we are contributing in terms of India here, and also if you see the per capita, the annual growth, and in the GDP also, the our annual growth is also 4 to 6%, which is again after even increasing in this, it's a very high. So with this, I just want to conclude here, as we have started with the speech which our esteemed the principal ma'am have given us, that there are lots of problem in our nation. Definitely, I'm not saying that there is no limitation which we have. We have unemployment, we have inflation, we have the other those problems. So you can see after this so much of improvement, is we achieved this much, and we are the fifth largest nation now. So if we overcome those problems, if we overcome those inequality problems, if we overcome the problems which we have in agriculture sector, industry sector, the service sector, so definitely we cannot it's not very far that we will be a first largest nation in the world. So that's it. I just want to conclude here, and thank you again, the economics department and Vidya Bhavan. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your views on achieving Viksit Bharat. You shared a lot of your real life experience with us while mentioning agriculture to global tech. We do agree with you about COVID disrupting the economy for so many years, but your Viksit Bharat vision ensures many of us that it can be achieved. Let's invite our next guest, Dr. Sapna Bansal, to share her insights on entrepreneurship culture in India and government policies. Let's have a round of applause, please.
Am I audible? Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. At the back. Good morning. Why this space empty? Why don't you come here? Whomsoever sitting at the back, please grab your opportunity. Come here. Come forward. It's a Viksit Bharat. Please come forward, because I know at the back you are using mobile phone. So I think will not take your much more time, but I hope you will like my session. Please come here. Those people that are sitting at the back, they can come forward. Okay. Only few wants to come forward. Just like a Okay, no problem. You don't want to come? It's okay. Anyway, the respected principal ma'am, a big round of applause for her for conducting such a wonderful conference on this topic. It's very well needed. And the Diveshji already spoke too much. Not too much, he actually precisely defined everything. So, my topic is related to this. You can see the video. That is William Dreams. Obviously, lot of dreams, and my name is also Dream. So, dream comes true. People saw dream. What is dream? सपने वो नहीं होते जो नींद में देखे जाते हैं, सपने वो होते हैं जो सोने नहीं देते. That's a quotation by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam ji. Very well said. That dreams are not those that you see with the closed eyes, but dreams are those that don't let you sleep. How many of you see the dreams? Everybody have a lot of dreams, right? I'm right? Okay. So this is very important topic because yes, Bharat. What is Bharat? Kya hai India? How you will define India? Yes, any one of you want to participate? Yes, what is it? How you will explain India? Bharat. Kya hai Bharat? Yes, in one line. How you will explain Bharat? Yes. Yes, ma'am. Anyone? Yes. Unity and diversity. A big round of applause for her. Very good. Anything else? Anybody else? What is Bharat? भारत वो है जो विश्व गुरु है. भारत वो है जिसने तक्षशिला और नालंदा विश्वविद्यालय दिए. भारत वो है जिसने जीरो दिया. भारत वो है जिसने योग दिया. भारत वो है जिसने ध्यान दिया. भारत वो है जिसने ज्ञान दिया. भारत वो है जिसने विज्ञान दिया. और तो और जो शतरंज आप खेलते हैं, चेस, वो भी भारत ने दिया. और व्हील हर जगह. यदि हम लोग पहिया नहीं देते तो शायद पूरे विश्व में ना तो प्लेन चलते, ना गाड़ी चलती, और ना ही इस हिंदुस्तान के जो परचम है वो पूरे विश्व में फैलाया जाता. तो इंडिया इकोनॉमी राइज. व्हाट इज इंडिया? इंडिया इज द फifth largest economy by nominal GDP as per the World Bank 2024, and third largest by purchasing power. Actually, that's a PPP. We are consuming lot of things. Each and every market in globe looking after Indians because we have lot of youth, we have lot of potential, we have lot of caliber, and the consumption rate, we are the people third largest market worldwide. And secondly, engine of global growth because India's economic growth is crucial for global economy, contributing significant to global GDP expansion. We are improving, we are contributing in terms of technology, in terms of artificial intelligence, in terms of other aspects. And you know, in 90s and 20s, we was in 127 number was consuming the data, but now we are in top most, and most of the people, they are using internet even right now because we are consuming too much. And the next thing is vision for a development India, Viksit Bharat. Viksit Bharat developing vision aims to transform India to a prosperous and inclusive nation by 2047. Is it possible? Yes, of course it is possible. Because impossible says itself, yes, I am possible. And this particular thing is going to be completed. But yes, no doubt, the debates are very well said. It's not an easy task because what why most of the people accept the Indian people are very lazy. But it's not true. Actually, we have n number of opportunity and we have a lot of potential. But what we are not doing, we have a agitation, we have a fear, we have a lack of confidence. Only these are some points that we need to work. Otherwise, past 40 to 50 years, we are doing very well in terms of economic growth. Next, I would like to see what is all about India. There was ancient time it called a Vishwaguru. पूरी दुनिया से लोग आते थे हिंदुस्तान में एजुकेशन लेने के लिए. Even Chinese में यदि आप देखेंगे 5th century में is very well coded that India is a place where is actually the knowledge, because everywhere there was a Gurukul parampara and we provide best education system. Even आज भी worldwide it is acceptable. We are #1 in providing education. But yes, practical exposure somehow missing. But this time, new education providing skill development courses and the motivation and the guidelines so that we can achieve that target. So we provide mathematics, yoga, literature, philosophy work, and n number of gurus and rishis like the Aryabhat, Kanak, Kapila, Chakra, Patanjali, Bharadwaj, Kasyap, and other people, and Gautam ji provided n number of research there, and Parasar and Vidya's Shukracharya and other people, they have worked a lot and contributed in our country. So what was the situation? There was a situation that was related to sorry. Yes. So pre-liberalization area up to the 1990, there was an averaging around 3 to 4% economic growth, but now we are working on it. And landmark reform 1991 onwards, liberalization, privatization, mixed economy and globalization opened the Indian foreign investment trade, basically growth in India. And the growth trajectory which was there in 2000, India has a witness on the average annual GDP growth of 6 to 7% worldwide. And 2022 to 23, the GDP growth was estimated at 6.9 by the World Bank. It's the actually current situation of India. And if you will look at the India's current economic landscape, there is a GDP that is 3.5 trillion as per the World Bank. That was April 2024, and the GDP per capita, that's a $12,760. And inflation around 6%, that was the provisional data was the Reserve Bank of India declared, and unemployment degrading day by day. And the strength that I told you, it's a large young population, growing domestic market, IT and services sector booming like anything. And we are contributing, even you can say, we are Mangalyaan, Chandrayaan, and number of things we are achieving day by day. But the challenges, what kind of challenges we are facing? That's the income inequality and infrastructure gap. Although we are working on infrastructure, but still there's a lot of things to do on this, and the job creation. So my topic is related to job creation. We have to be a job creator, not the job seeker. And in current scenario, even the Prime Minister was very well said that we have to be the job provider instead of searching the job, because this is the right time where we can provide employment to other. And job creation, yes, India have an entrepreneurship, we have a potential, and we are providing a number of things by providing and utilizing 7 resources like the man, machine, material, method, money, management, and market. We are progressing like anything, because we have a unity, we have a vision, we have a capability, we have a potential, only things to brush up. So the challenges we are facing, but yes, the growth driver, that's the information, technology, pharmaceutical, manufacturing, and financial sector, we are doing very well. If you will see the in term of the export, we are improving day by day. And recently, yesterday, I was discussing with the ambassador of Nigeria, and Vietnam was sitting here. So we people are helping others as well. And during the pandemic situation, India was distributing all the vaccine to other country as well, because Vasudev Kutumbakam. This Amrit Kal is going on, but actually we are helping other people as well. So India actually startups revaluation started tech savvy, that was a 600 million under 35 age. Most of the people, they are working on a startup, because as a business management institute, you people think like that ki, okay, I will do my job in multinational company after some time, but I will suggest you, if you are going to start your own venture, it is going to help you like anything, because there is no retirement, there is no actually degradation, and nobody will kick you out from your job. So you have to be creator. And the third largest startups hub, 80,000 startups past 3 years developed in India. And we are working with hydro and even renewable energy, solar panel, and a number of things we are producing this time. And the innovation sector, yes, we people are very, very innovative. India is well known for the jugaad, because we know with the minimum resources how you can utilize. At the time of demonetization, have you remember most of the females they was using their change, and they was utilizing all the resources, because these people are very innovative. And the government initiative related to this Startup India, empowering entrepreneurship and record funding, that's a $84 billion was in 2023. And basically the regulations going on and a lot of rules and regulation taking place. But I am telling you the practical ground, because I am moreover related to entrepreneurship. Most of the people they are working on a startup these days, because they know very well government is providing lot of funds, lot of platform, and the market is also available there where you can export. And fintech like e-commerce, edtech, healthcare, clean tech sector are also doing very well in shaping India as a Viksit Bharat. So the vision, actually, the definition was given recently. Our Prime Minister from the from the stage of he quoted that Viksit Bharat aim for a strong, inclusive, and sustainable India by 2024 with high standard of living. High standard of living means equality between the among all the people, overall development, education has to be there. And as per the Maslow theory, the 5 parameters should be complete. The basic need has to fulfill, like the food, shelter, cloth, then the safety need, then the social need, and esteem need, and at the last we need a self-actualization. What was the reason? Do you know anything about Steve Jobs? Just please pay attention at the back. Steve Jobs was a person when he was famous in spirituality, and this is not a spiritual session. But let me tell you one thing. हिंदुस्तान में आए 3 महीने यहाँ ध्यान किया, मेडिटेशन किया, तब दोबारा जाकर उन्होंने डेवलप किया। जब उन्हें उनकी कंपनी से निकाल दिया गया था, दोबारा से उन्होंने एप्पल को खड़ा किया। पिक्सल और पिक्सार 2 कंपनी स्टैब्लिश की, क्योंकि ध्यान हिंदुस्तान देता है। हमें पता है कि अध्यात्म के बिना, उस ज्ञान के बिना वो अचीव नहीं कर सकते जो अल्टीमेटली आपका गोल है। आज भी मैनेजमेंट इंस्टीट्यूट में व्हाई वी आर प्रोवाइडिंग session for stress management and meditation, because it's not a spiritual thing. It's not only a spiritual thing, it's a matter of your satisfaction. It's a matter of something which you can achieve. So aligning with the development goals, there was a 17 goals which was given by UN sustainability goals, and we are working on, and especially the part poverty and the education sector, social development, environmental and sustainability. Yes, this environment belongs to you and we belongs to this environment. The strategies for the achievements focus on infrastructure development, education skilling, and job creation, technological innovation, and the rural development. हिंदुस्तान की आत्मा इसके गांव में बसती है। जब तक गांव डेवलप नहीं होंगे, तब तक हम देश सिर्फ एक अर्बन एरिया के डेवलपमेंट से विकसित भारत को वहां तक नहीं लेके जा सकते, क्योंकि आज भी रूरल एरिया में जितना पोटेंशियल है उतना कहीं भी नहीं है। सबको पता है, डू यू नो एनीथिंग अबाउट लिज्जत पापड़? हु इज द फाउंडर ऑफ द लिज्जत पापड़? गुजरात का व्हाट इज हर नेम? हर नेम इज जसवंती बेन। शी वाज 5th standard pass only, and with the 7 ladies she started a startup on the terrace of her home. And there was no marketing understanding. She don't know anything about management. She don't know about planning, organizing, direction, controlling, motivation. But the dedication. She started with the just capital income of, like 80 rupees. With the 80 rupees, she started the venture which called a Lijjat Papad. And now, do you know what is the value of Lijjat Papad? 2,500 crore की कंपनी बना दिया, साथ सिर्फ घरेलू लेडीज ने। 35,000 ladies working together for Lijjat Papad, and most of the ladies, they are actually not that capable. कोई विधवा है, किसी के हस्बैंड ने छोड़ दिया है, कोई एक एसिड अटैक है, कुछ इस तरीके की प्रॉब्लम्स को लेकर लिज्जत पापड़ को स्टैब्लिश किया गया. देयर इज नो ओनर एज सच, बट दे आर मेकिंग लॉट ऑफ मनी आउट ऑफ, बिकॉज व्हेन योर intention is positive, you can create something very positive. So that's a definition already we discussed about Viksit Bharat to strong actually they align with the development goals. Now I will talk about the strength, weaknesses and opportunity. How many of you knows about the SWOT analysis? This thing is not working now. Okay, so strength. What is the strength of India? Youth. Yes, very good. India's strength is large working age population. Yeah. So number one is strength. ये weakness भी है and strength भी है. Why it is a weakness? Because yes, population is too crowded. We don't have enough resources to consume. Lot of mixing taking place. Our health is deteriorating like anything because of the population. But at the same time, we have a 60% youth population. You look at the China, there is only two categories. One is below 5 and one category is more than 70 years, more than 70 years. So we have a one strength and second is diversified economy because पूरी दुनिया में रिसेशन आ गया बट इंडिया में रिसेशन नहीं आया. क्यों? 2008 में पूरे वर्ल्ड में आप देखेंगे सब जगह प्रॉब्लम थी. व्हाई नॉट इन इंडिया? बिकॉज इंडिया में नंबर 2 का काम ज्यादा होता है. वी हैव अ कैश इकोनॉमी. If you will go to the Chandni Chowk, Kamla Nagar and other market, you will find n number of people. They are actually dealing in cash. If you are going to purchase a property, the registry will be only 1 CR, but actually price of the property is more than 5 CR. So that's why, that's a strength. Then the technological advancement, we are growing. इवन जितने कम पैसों में हमने चंद्रयान पे पहुंचे या हमने जितने एक्सपेरिमेंट किए हुए हैं और आगे भी जो हम लोग कर रहे हैं वो शायद वर्ल्ड वाइड सोच नहीं सकते. आज भी नासा में जितने साइंटिस्ट काम करते हैं उसमें 35% से ज्यादा हमारे इंडियंस काम करते हैं क्योंकि उन्हें पता है कि क्या पोटेंशियल है. And the government this time taking lot of initiative in terms of startup India infrastructure project, and they are actually promoting people to develop their own venture. At the same time, the weaknesses, yes, skill gap. As per the record, only 2% people are the skilled people right now. I was discussing with one of the company EY and the additional director. She is a very good friend of mine. She was telling me, Dr. Sapna, if I am taking the interview of 100 people, okay, only 2% is eligible for that particular job. Means 98 people, they are doing MBA, but they don't have a skill, they don't have a caliber, they don't have a potential, they don't have a vision, and they don't know how to actually do it. So that's the weakness. And the infrastructure bottleneck. Obviously, we have a transportation problem, the power problem, and even आज भी ऐसे गांव हैं जहां अभी तक भी बिजली नहीं पहुंची है. And income inequality. बहुत पैसे वालों के पास पैसा है, कम पैसे वालों के पास तो बेसिक चीज भी नहीं है. If you will go to the Kali Handi, you will find this disparity. At the same time, we have lot of opportunities. The rising domestic market, yes, growing consumer base. सबसे पहले पूरे वर्ल्ड में कोई भी प्रोडक्ट आएगा वो इंडिया में आएगा और सबसे पहले कहाँ लॉन्च होगा? किसी को आइडिया है? दिल्ली में. Because Delhi full of population and diversified because n number of people from nearby state residing here. So that's the actually opportunity and integration with the global economy, trade agreement and foreign investment. That's the opportunity for India. And innovation and entrepreneurship, again a big part. And the focus on renewable energy, clean energy and hydro energy and n number of energy we are working on it. And the threats, yes, of course, there's a lot of problems. The nearby countries, if you will look at the, Nepal and even Pakistan and China, they people, we have a good relationship with some of the countries, but yes, still that's a big problem because geopolitics tension will directly, indirectly impact. And the climate change, And after pandemic, a lot of business we lost. Actually, the reason was very clear. By 2047, we can be a Viksit Bharat, and I'm very sure about it. It's not a big deal because we have a vision, we have a potential. But only thing is that we need to channelize certain things in terms of manpower and the resources and the utilization of all the management functions. Then obviously the inflation and economic slowdown, then the rising healthcare. After, if you will see pandemic situation, lot of health deterioration these days taking place because there is a cervical, there is a BP, there is a n number of things taking place. So yes, health is also very important. So, emerging sector, in emerging sector, there's a renewable energy, electrical vehicle, and a space technology. We are working on research organization with the ISRO and leading playing an ambitious space exploration with a mission, and even we are working on renewable energy. So day by day, lot of companies they are working. Tata also recently launched a number of EV car and other players also coming in the market. At the same time, startups ecosystem. Yes, we have developed more than 80,000 startups past 3 to 4 years. It's a big achievement in terms of India. Next is consumer trend. Yes, growing demands, but we have to be a job creator rather than job seeker. And at the same time, we have to work on digital payment, online services we are making. So Vijay Shekhar Sharma who established a Paytm with just a general idea, and he make money a lot. So the global partnership investment also there, the FDI and the trade management and the emerging global. So the punch plan was given by PM Modi about the vision. That was the punch plan. That's a punch plan. That's a moving forward with bigger resolve and the resolve of a developed India. Move forward. ये फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि आप कितने छोटे हैं या बड़े हैं, चलना जरूरी है. ठहर गए तो वहीं रुक जाएंगे. That's a very important. You have to move forward. And the colonizer thought process need to be changed. It is all the stresses, all the mindset that was related to in Mughal period. And then after that, taking pride in India's heritage. You have to pride to be towards India. And the strength, unity and solidarity, that's a very important thing. हम लोग कितने भी धर्मों में, जातियों में, thought process में divided हो, लेकिन 15 अगस्त और 26 जनवरी को एक ही झंडा सबके हाथ में होता है और वो होता है तिरंगा. So fulfilling the duties of the citizen, we talk about the responsibility and the power, but never ever talk about the duties. Yes, the duties started from you people. Whomsoever is sitting in this particular seminar room, I request to everyone, there's an n number of duties that you need to play. It's not like all the time you can go to the border and you can fight with the enemies. The thing is that small things we can start and we can make a big change. So there was a Atmanirbhar Bharat protocol was recently launched with the 20 lakh crore, even the 10% GDP and lot of 5 pillar strategy. There was an economy, infrastructure system, vibrant demography, and the demand and supply need to be management. And the key reform, then the agriculture supply management has to be systematic, and implementation of more national tax system and simplify the laws and rules and regulation so that everybody will be under the same umbrella, and invest in the skilled human resources. I told you there has to be a skilled, and a skilled how? ये नहीं है कि आप बहुत ज्यादा काम करें, कितने perfection के साथ कर रहे हैं. That's a very important thing, because we need a skillful person. We don't require a degree. If you will look at the Dhirubhai Ambani, you look at the Tata Birlas, they was never ever done MBA or DBA or any sort of management courses. But the kind of skills they nurture, that's an important part. Then they invest in skills, human resource, foster and robust financial system will again play an important role. So the Dhirubhai Ambani started his venture just with the 20,000 rupees. Everybody knows. हमेशा बोलते थे जब वो अमन पेट्रोल पंप पे पेट्रोल भरते थे कि एक दिन मेरा पेट्रोल पंप होगा, वहां से आप लोग पेट्रोल भरना. तो people start laughing. जो खुद काम करते हैं वो कैसे कर सकते हैं? But this mindset need to be changed. Second is the Bhavesh Agrawal. Everybody knows about this guy, a very young champ. He said, you know what happened? एक दिन जा रहे थे बैंगलोर में, taxi was too higher side. Last moment पे the person has changed the idea कि नहीं ये price इतना नहीं double होगा. He thought I am facing this problem, might be all the people facing the problem. So he developed the Ola. At the same time, the Flipkart, Sachin Bansal, Vinny Bansal established a Flipkart. लोग बोलते थे कि यहाँ इंडिया है जहाँ एक फ्रिज भी लेना होता है तो पूरी आधी फैमिली जाकर देखती है बट उन्होंने ये कॉन्सेप्ट चेंज किया कि ऑनलाइन बुक से दे हैव डेवलप्ड अ ह्यूज मार्केट. Next, there's a case study also there in the Lijjat Papad, as I discussed with the Jiswanti Band, was established in 1950, and this particular venture is very close to my heart because 35,000 ladies running this venture without any support. They are making money out of it, and they are supporting India, females, and each and everything managed by the female only. So I will not go into this. There's the Atmanirbhar Bharat, n number of things was there. There's a one video. Will you please run? एक video is sir चला देंगे. That's related to female entrepreneurship, how they are improving and working, and there's a n number of this time opportunity going. Sir, video is not there. That was a Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao scheme. There's a National Rural Livelihood, Mahila E-Heart, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, Stand Up India, National Crutch Schemes, Ujjwala Yojana, Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, Skill Development Initiative, and Janani Sukanya Yojana.
India is home to 1.3 billion people, with 70% of the population living in rural areas. So it's not wrong to say that the way to the heart of India is through its hinterlands. Over 54% of the population is below the age of 25, making it one of the youngest countries in the world. As these youngsters enter the workforce, there is a chance that a demographic dividend will be created by 2055. This population advantage will help the country reach its ambitions of becoming a $5 trillion economy. With over 800 million 4G users and a large smartphone penetration, there has been a spark in self-employment and entrepreneurship amongst the youth in rural India. Ironically, rural women in India are less likely to be wage earners, and when they earn less than men. Rural women are concentrated in low-skilled, low productivity, and low or unpaid jobs, with long working hours, harsh working conditions, and limited social protection. There are hundreds of thousands of daughters of India living in rural India who want to do something with their lives but are clueless on how and what to do. Government initiatives such as Startup India and the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana started in 2015 have enabled last mile entrepreneurship amongst the rural youth of India and have also increased employment opportunities. There are awe-inspiring stories amongst rural women who changed their fortune simply through hard work, determination, and growth.
This is small work by making
One such
handmade
example
crafts.
is Amarjeet
They
Kaur,
are making
who
money.
despite socioeconomic disadvantages, dared to dream beyond the poverty-stricken life.
You may not know about 94-year-old Jaswanti Popat, but you definitely have heard of her brand. Jaswanti is one of the 7 co-founders of Lijjat Papad. These women struggled together 63 years ago to set up Shri Mahila Udyog Lijjat Papad. In 1959, 7 Gujarati homemakers decided to bank on their papad making skills with the hope of earning a stable income and reducing the financial strain on their families. They started out with a legal capital of rupees 80. Once all their housework was done, they would gather on a building terrace in South Mumbai, leave the dough for their papads and lay it out to dry. Then papad packets in hand, they marched to the market to find buyers. On the first day, they sold 1 kilo and earned 8 annas. The next day, 2 kilos fetched a rupee. Women in their locality found it profitable, and just through word of mouth, they started building a team. As for their product, it was so good that Richard grew organically into a company larger than they could have imagined. helping thousands of women gain financial independence. ASC worked from home long before it became the norm. Linchak is today India's oldest all-female cooperative and employs close to 45,000 women. Apart from being a business worth rupees 1,600 crore.
There is a number of rural females who is making contribution by collecting milk, and they are developing a number of skills, training people, and even providing them with self-respect, how they can actually stand in such rural women entrepreneurship. So there is a number of as a Gujarat lady, she's a 62 years old. She established a mini sold milk worth rupees of 1.10 CR and even providing jobs to others by making a small efforts and training them. With the 45 cows, she started this venture. And after that, there was this Tamil Nadu, that lady, they are actually providing education to everyone. And these girls were sold in the market, but she collected and just helping them out to establish their business and making paintings by waste, and they are making best out of waste. And this is Gujarati lady again, who's actually making handmade bags, jute bags, and even exporting out of India as well. And recently she launched as a brand, and they don't have any management skills. They don't know anything about management, but yes, with their efforts and dedication, this lady belongs to Bihar and making mushrooms and cultivating mushrooms and making more than 1 CR in a year. So mushrooms cultivating kind of business they are producing. So there is a Darbhanga. There is a one case study for you. It's a very good. I think you have seen the Shark Tank. So I got twisted, and you can learn a lot of things out of this story. They are simply making pickle, and with the pickle they are making billion and trillion money. But initially everybody have rejected them because they feel like that this idea will not work.
मिर्ची सूख चुका है, अच्छे से मिक्स कीजिए, जो ऊपर नीचे अच्छे से हो जाए। नमस्कार, मैं कल्पना झा।
नमस्कार, मैं उमा झा।
हम नमक भाभी की अनोखी जोड़ी दरभंगा से आए हैं। 600 रुपये का एवरेज ऑर्डर वैल्यू है। आपको एवरेज ऑर्डर वैल्यू बोलते हुए सुन के हमारे दिन लॉन्च किया तो पहले महीने ही नहीं मेरा 2.5 लाख का सेल हुआ, दूसरे महीने में 3 लाख का, फिर तीसरे महीने में 5 से 6 लाख का सेल हो गया। 7 टेंथ में जाने के बाद चूंकि उन लोगों ने तो फंड नहीं दिया।
करना चाहता हूँ आपकी वैल्यू है, पर हो नहीं पाएगा, लेकिन मेरा टाइम नहीं देता।
मैं भी आउट, मैं आउट। लेकिन बदलाव आया जब जो बिक्री 3 महीने में हो रही थी वो एक ही रात में बिक्री।
They use this platform as a marketing tools.
जो ऑर्डर हमारे पास है उसकी तैयारी हो रही है। हम ऐसा सोचते हैं कि ये पूरे घर तक, हर डाइनिंग टेबल पर हमारा ये खाद्य चाय पहुंचे, हर लोगों के स्वाद में ये पहुंचे जिसके बिना उनको खाना पसंद ना आए। कोई
Kendra ji, Uma ji.
Now the Shark Tank also changed their thought process with their sales and their dedication.
बिल्कुल मेरे दिल को छू गई ये बात। और उस समय सब चीजें इतनी जल्दी मूव होती है, सब लोग रिग्रेट नहीं चाहते हैं। मुझे अपनी माँ से डांट पड़ी तो ये नहीं करना तो सकती हो कि ब्रांड बनाने इंडिया से विमेन में इन्वेस्ट करना है, क्यों नहीं किया तुमने चेक? नहीं, और रिग्रेट की एक खूबी ये होती है कि हम उसे करेक्ट कर सकते हैं, उसे सुधारने हम यहाँ पहुंचे हैं। हम आपके लिए एक दूसरी सरप्राइज लेकर आए हैं। ये झारखंड इंजर्स और नमिता और मेरी तरफ से जो अधूरी कहानी है लेकिन आप प्रैक्टिकल बहुत आज आपने बोली है, आप मेरे आपसे कितना अमाउंट मांगा था जब आप आई थी एपिसोड सीजन 1 के एपिसोड 1 में?
50 लाख रुपए के लिए 10% इक्विटी देने का ऑफर करती हूँ।
50 लाख, और अभी ये कितना अमाउंट है?
5 लाख।
They was asking for 50 lakh, but they got 85 lakh because they really work in a systematic manner and develop this pickle business. So, Jahaji, this business they have developed.
मुझे लगता है कि कल्पना जी और उमा जी की स्टोरी के जरिए कितनी और हलवा कंपनी से लेकर लड्डू कंपनी उभरेंगी, छोटे छोटे गांव में, छोटे छोटे शहरों में। उनको लाखों महिलाएं मैसेज करेंगी कि उन्होंने उनकी कहानी देखकर अपना बिजनेस स्टार्ट किया, अपने हस्बैंड को दिखाया, अपने बच्चों को दिखाया, और आज वो इस मुकाम पे पहुंचे। कभी कभी मंजिल तक पहुंचने की रेस में हम रास्ता भटक जाते हैं, इसलिए नए सीजन की शुरुआत करने से पहले ये डिटूर लेना जरूरी था। तो पिछले सीजन की अधूरी कहानी को अंजाम
Now
देना
stop, please. Change the slide, please. So that was a video. I hope you learn out of it. I want to say so many things, but just want to conclude by saying few words that nothing is impossible because impossible says itself, yes, I am a possible. The thing is that you have to organize yourself and yes, managing yourself in such a way so that you can achieve your dreams. Because yes, my best wishes with you, you will achieve your dream and Viksit Bharat to होगा ही होगा, लेकिन साथ साथ आपको भी छोटे छोटे स्टेप्स लेने पड़ेंगे। देयर इज वन कोटेशन, वन शायरी एंड विल कंक्लूड। हो गई पीर पर्वत सी अब तो पिघलनी चाहिए, हिमालय से कोई गंगा अब तो निकलनी चाहिए, सिर्फ हंगामा खड़ा करना मकसद नहीं मेरा, मेरी कोशिश है कि भारत की ये तस्वीर बदलनी चाहिए, ये तस्वीर बदलनी चाहिए। Thank you very much for giving me opportunity, and I really thanks once again the principal and this entire institute. Thank you very much, and a special thanks to Geet as well for inviting me. Thank you everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for introducing us to the ancient culture of gurus and gurukul. Your insights on startup and entrepreneurship align with the idea of Viksit Bharat. And I also believe that dreams are those that do not let you see. And a lot of you are to believe that as well. The video of women empowerment was also really very exciting. Thank you so much, ma'am. So now let's invite our next guest, Dr. Vivek Kumar Rajak, to share insights on distribution aspects on the future of India.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's indeed a great pleasure to be here at Bharatiya Vidya College, Bharatiya Vidya Bharati College. I mean, it's really doing wonderful for last, and ma'am said more than 85 years. Shall I continue? No problem, ma'am. So after two PowerPoint presentations, I believe since I do not have a PowerPoint, I'll try to make sure that there is some point in my presentation without a PowerPoint. Okay. So, Principal Ma'am, Gitika Dutta, other faculty members, Geet, my student, and all the dear students, those who are present here, I would like to thank you all for organizing this and being here for this wonderful topic called Viksit Bharat, Billion Dreams and Trillion Economy, $1 trillion economy, that is India. So there is no doubt. I don't believe that anyone in this hall has any doubt that India will not become a developed country. We can certainly doubt when it is going to become a developed country. So let me just give you, see, this bottle is half empty and half full. As Ben in the beginning says, the statistics can be presented in both the ways. But no one can deny that this bottle is half full, and no one also can deny that this bottle is half empty. So let us look at the possibilities, look at the statistics where we can become a developed country. And at what rate we'll have to grow to become a developed country. But before that, I would like to give you very small, very brief feature, okay, of a developed country. Whom do we call a developed country? Viksit Bharat. Viksit किसको कहते हैं? So I am going to give you 10 points, 10 features of a developed country. Obviously, one may call this is a Euro-centric or a Western-centric definition. But everything that we are following today in this country, even the way we are measuring the gross domestic product, or the way we are saying that we are the third largest economy or fifth largest economy, or around 4 trillion economy. We are about to reach 4 trillion by this quarter only. Okay, so we all are following the Western definitions and Western concepts. So 10 points, 10 features that will make India a developed country are high GDP per capita. And as per the United Nations World Bank's definition of a developed country, your per capita real GDP has to be something around 13 to $15,000, not in purchasing power parity, in exchange rate. And what is the per capita income today in case of India? It is 2,731. $2,731 per person GDP that is there in India at present in exchange rate. Whereas in purchasing power parity, as Sapna Madam rightly said, we are something around $9,000. Because the things are cheaper here. Purchasing power parity does not tell us that whether we are consuming more or we are consuming less. It tells us that at each dollar, how much we can purchase and how much you can purchase in different parts of this country. Depending on that, our value of our per capita income and value of our GDP is determined on the basis of PPP. So that is always higher for developing country in terms of purchasing power parity. Second important feature is the advanced infrastructure. And there is no doubt that for last almost 15 to 18 years, since 2007 onwards, the day when we started 11 5-year plan with a view to have a inclusive growth and inclusive development, we started investing more money, spending more money, which means the government started spending more money on infrastructure. And the rate at which we are spending money on infrastructure has increased very rapidly in last 10 years after 2014. No one can deny this fact. Then third important feature of a developed nation is the technological advancement. Now look at the technology where it is developed. We are also doing it. As in one of the lectures, Raghuram Rajan recently said that 20% of the chips are being developed in India. Where? Near Hyderabad and Bangalore, not near Delhi. Okay, it is very important where we are developing it. Okay, so we are contributing on the high-end technological sector also, but at the same time, we need to be more techno-friendly and we'll have to spend a lot of money on research and development, that is where we are lacking. As man said, the 2% MBAs are only employable. I mean, look at the figure. Okay, then the diversified economy. Your economy has to be a diversified economy. Whereas where we are going, we know. I'll talk about some things which are not very positive in this lecture. Not because that I want to defame India, but because we need to work on those fields so that we become a developed nation by 20%. So diversification means all sectors of your economy has to be developed in simultaneously, because development of one sector depends on the development of other sectors. All the three broad sectors, namely agriculture, industry, and services, are interlinked. You require certain rate of growth of agriculture to have a certain growth of industrial sector. Similarly, to have a certain growth in the industrial sector or manufacturing sector, you have to have certain growth in the services sector, and vice versa. So diversification is very important. Then high level of capital, human capital. So here we are lacking. In last two speakers already have highlighted about this, that the human capital formation is one big challenge that is going to be there before us in the coming time. Why? Because we are in a situation, we are in a phase of demographic transition where the percentage of population in the working age group, that is between 15 and 64, below 65, is 68%. So 68% of your population is in this age group, 15 to 64, and around 25% are 0 to 14 years, and around 10% are in the age group of 65 and above. And this is going to be there with us. And this particular situation in this demographic transition is supposed to give us some dividend. It is called demographic dividend. But are we getting demographic dividend? What are the prospects of getting demographic dividend? A lot of articles, research on population and demography have been published in various national and international journals regarding India. So people are doubting whether it will be a demographic dividend, or it is going to be a demographic debt, or a demographic disaster ultimately, because the unemployment rates are very alarming. Sapna Madam showed in her figure that it was 8% in 2023. Somehow it has come down to 6.97% in January 2024 as per CMI data. But look at the unemployment rate among youth. So, whom do we call youth? So, there are two categories: 20, above 19, that is 20 to 24, and 25 to 29. The unemployment rate among 20 to 24 is something around 44%. And that has increased in December. The data was released in January, so I am saying January to 2024. It is a quarterly data from October, November, December, CMI data. So 44% is the unemployment rate for the age group 20 to 25, which was earlier 43%. In the previous quarter, that was September, October, November. Sorry, September. That is July, August, September 2023. The unemployment rate among 25 to 29 is again in double digits, something around 15%. That was 13% in the previous quarter. And the survey says that 50% of your working age population of your youth are not employable. Madam gave some example of 90%, 98%, but overall, I think she gave for the management course, but overall, including engineering, general education, professional education, 50% of the youth in India are considered to be not employable. See the kind of education that we are imparting, the kind of skill that we are imparting. So, human capital formation, again, health, a lot of has been said by the previous speakers on health, especially after the post-pandemic period. I don't need to comment on that. Another important feature of a developed country would be a strong institution and governance. So all your institutions, and we are a democratic country. India is a democratic republic of India. So in a democratic country, what are the institutions? We know that we have the judiciary, we have the legislative, we have the executive, we have the media, and through these four, we create several other institutions to run the economy, run the country. So how democratic, how strong, how independent your institutions are would determine whether what kind of development would take place in your country in the future. Again, I'm saying that no one in this house can deny that India is going to be a developed country in future. No one in this house, including myself. But when I'll again come to some statistics, but let me finish with 3, 4 more points. High level of productivity. Look at the productivity. Now, where we are employed, where Indian working age population is employed, 44% in the agriculture sector, and rest 56% in the non-agricultural sector. And GDP contribution of the agriculture in the GDP is something around 15 to 17%. So that means these 44% people are surviving on 17% or 15% of the value addition that they are creating each year. Whereas this services sector, which is contributing something around 55 to 58% in the GDP, only 35% people are employed in this services sector. Look at the gap in the productivity. Is it the same as in case of other developed countries? No. In case of developed countries as a whole, 90% people are employed in the services sector, in the tertiary sector. Similarly, the tertiary sector contributes 90% in the GDP of those countries. And rest 10% is divided into 3 plus 7, maybe 4 plus 6 as agriculture and manufacturing or the industrial sector. Most of the industries are located now in the Asian countries like China, Vietnam, including India, Bangladesh, and other countries. But the contribution of GDP and dependence of people in those sectors are almost equal. That means the productivity of agriculture is as good as the productivity in the services sector in case of developed countries. So we'll have to increase the productivity of agriculture. And mind you, the agriculture wages in last 2 decades have increased by only 1% in real term, whereas your GDP have increased by more than 6%. So your average GDP growth has been 6 to 7% for last 2 decades. And agricultural wages have increased by 1%. Therefore, the contribution of agriculture in the GDP is declining. And look at the situation of people who are depending on agriculture. So as previous speaker said that you cannot make India develop without you develop your villages, because more than 65% of your population are living in the rural areas, in the villages. So you have to make villages develop in order to make your country develop. And another point is very important is the advanced financial system. To grow, to become a developed country, to have industrialization, to have economic activities, you need finance. Somehow, and our previous experience on this has been very good. And recently also, we are moving hand in hand with as the technology is concerned regarding the financial sector, your banking sector adopting technology, your UPI payment system. Everybody is basically appreciating this. The government initiative of bringing digitalization in the payment and the transaction and financial banking insurance sector is appreciated by everybody in the world. And this payment interface system is basically one of the best in the world. So there we are doing really great. Then the social safety nets. What is social safety nets? People talk about universal basic income. Is it possible? Are we in a situation? Is our revenue, government revenue is sufficient to provide universal basic income? The answer would be no. So what we do it targeting, we do the targeting, and we give some income to some section of the society. For example, 6,000 per annum per, I mean, one household, agricultural household, okay, and something we give something to the widow as widow pension. We give something to the old age women, okay, with the weapons. And similarly, during the COVID, we saw that we gave some amount to the construction workers and so on and so forth. But is it sufficient? No. You'll have to create a labor market, you'll have to provide jobs with safety nets, with social security benefits, like they are given in the formal sector, they are given in the organized sector. Merely creating jobs like a Zomato delivery boy or a Ola Uber driver, or they do not have any safety nets, they do not have any social security benefits. What will happen when will they turn 65? Your formal labor definition is that when if anybody has any kind of social security benefits, is something around 12%. It was 10% earlier, but increased by 2 percentage point in last maybe 10 years. So your 12% workers, those who are working, have some kind of social security benefits. What about 82%? They will grow older, whom they will depend after 65, after 70. Who will provide them the money for their daily consumption and for their health requirements? Because when you grow old, your health expenditure is more than your food expenditure after 70, 75, 80. So you'll have to create the social safety net for your population in order to become a developed nation by 2047. And last but not the least, all these 9 points would lead to a high standard of living. So high standard of living is another important feature of a developed country. Now, merely producing 5 trillion, 10 trillion, 30 trillion is not going to help you unless all these parameters are taken care of. And again, as I said, if you look at, for example, China's is per capita GDP is something around $13,000 in exchange and something around 21,000 in purchasing power parity. But at the same time, you'll have to look at this is the average of the low income developed countries per capita GDP. So even if you want to become a low income developed country level of average per capita GDP in exchange, at what rate you'll have to grow in next say 23 years from now? Because we are sort of 23 years to reach 100 years in 2047. Now it is important. You'll have to grow something at the rate of your per capita GDP has to be 5.3 times than it is currently by 2047. So in order to get that level of GDP per capita, you'll have to grow at the rate of per capita GDP has to grow at the rate of 7.5%, 8% per annum. This is per capita GDP. And your real GDP has to grow at the rate of something around 9 to 10% per annum. So at what rate we have grown in last 25, 30 years? Your highest per capita GDP growth was in a single year, that was 2013-14, that was 6.3%. After that, you have never grown at the rate of 6.3% per annum. I'm talking about per capita real GDP. So, in order to get that level of per capita GDP, your per capita GDP has to grow more than 7% per annum, 7.5 to be precise, and your GDP has to grow in real terms in more than 9% or something around 10%. Is it possible? Obviously, it is possible. Nothing is impossible in this world. You'll have to work hard in order to get that level of growth. Now, what has been the constraints of growth? I have written 3 books for all of you. I don't want to interact with the teachers, faculty members there. I want to interact with the students. I would suggest you to read three books. Okay, one, India Development and Participation, written by Amartya Sen in 2004. Another book on India, written by again Amartya Sen in 2012, called The Uncertain Glory, India and Uncertain Glory. And a recent book by Raghuram Rajan, where he is also talking about Viksit Bharat, and who is giving all the good work that has been done in the economy in the last 20 years by both UPA 1, UPA 2, and 10 years of NDA Modi government. The good things have been highlighted and what needs to be done in order to transform Indian economy has been written by Raghuram Rajan and I think Rohit, the breaking the mold recently 2023. So please read such books. These books will give you some perspective as to where we are, what has been, as Madam has pointed out, about the past 5,000 years ago, or maybe in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth century history is given there in the Amartya Sen book. Along with what needs to be done in order to transform the lives of people. All those 10 points that I highlighted, I talked about as a feature of a developed country needs to be taken care of. I'm not going very radical about the definition of development as Amartya Sen goes. He has included freedom as development, but I'm not going into freedom. I'm simply going in economic, purely economic, socio-economic sense. That your standard of living has to improve, your health, your education, your means the masses of this country. Okay? Has to improve in order to transform your country from a developing low middle income country to a developed country, to a Viksit Bharat. Okay? So there are again this situation. I'm telling you, there are some alarming data that are there with us. For example, if you look at the Oxfam report about inequality, again my previous figure. This is another drawback of speaking at the end that you'll have to refer to the previous speakers because they have spoken of everything about it. Okay, but what Oxfam report 2023 tells us, ये बताता है that 1%, sorry, 10% of your people, richest people, own 77% of the wealth, and 1% richest people in this country holds 44% of the wealth of this country, and half of the poorest population, their wealth have increased by 1% between 2017 and 2022. See the kind of inequality that is there. What will you do? And there is multifaceted inequality. Government will have to work very hard. And what are those facets of inequality? We have caste inequality in this country. We all know. So in politics, people talk about it, but in policy circle, we don't. In politics, every contestant, every leader, opposition as well as the ruling party leader is talking about scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBC, Ati Pichda, what not. Where are those places in the document? Do we talk about the caste inequality in document and what has been done by in terms of policy in the document needs to be looked at. Then we have religious inequality, we have regional inequality, and most importantly, we have the gender inequality in this country. 50% of your population consists of male and almost 50% as female. But your female, I mean, I'm not talking about the 5% of households, okay, or 7% of households. Rest 93 to 95% households of female do not have the ownership right. The properties are not in their name. They are not head of the family. So, in such a situation, having a caste, religion, region, gender inequality, this economic inequality is making it more worse in terms of where we are heading, where we are heading. Then, when you talk about regional inequality, your poorest Indian states have the infant mortality rate worse than the sub-Saharan African countries. Sub-Saharan Africa is considered to be the poorest, backwardest region of this world. But your poorest states, I don't want to name those states, otherwise I'll get into trouble. Okay? Have the infant mortality rate and maternal mortality rate higher than the sub-Saharan Africa. And you will be surprised to know that 17% of the maternal mortality happens in India. You know what is maternal mortality? A mother is dying or a mother dies while giving birth to a child. Nothing can be inhuman and pathetic than this. And we are holding 17% of such deaths. And 21% of the infant mortality we hold. Similarly, around 25%, 19% of the child mortality that happens in this country. So, without addressing human capital formation, without investing money in three, I'll tell you, we are doing wonderful in terms of infrastructure development. In last almost, as I said, for 16-17 years since 2007. लेकिन हम लोगों को चार चीज में इन्वेस्ट करना पड़ेगा. नंबर 1 is health. Number 2, education. This will make your human capital more vibrant and more skilled. और क्या रह गया इसके बाद? अगर ह्यूमन ठीक हो गया तो क्या बच गया? R&D, very important. Look at the economies who have transformed lately. अभी रघुराम अपनी किताब में लिखते हैं. रघुराम जानते हैं ना आप लोग? RBI governor forward. So RBI governor also visits other countries along with the minister. Okay. So the minister went to Korea and he said that आप लोगों ने इतना अच्छा कैसे किया? हम तो सिमिलर लेवल ऑफ पर कैपिटा जीडीपी में थे 1960 में. तो कोरिया ने अपना बताया हमने ये किया. तो उन्होंने कहा ये तो हमारे 5 प्लान्स में ऑलरेडी है. तो कोरियन ने कहा बट वी इम्प्लीमेंटेड. You had the policy, you had the program, but you did not implement. तो हमारे पॉलिसी डॉक्यूमेंट्स जो मैडम ने प्रेजेंट किए तो ब्यूटीफुल पॉलिसी डॉक्यूमेंट्स हैं. Look at the provisions in the policy. But what is the implementation? Where is the implementation? What is the result? We'll have to introspect in order to make our implementation better, not to defy India. Okay? So, as we had very beautiful, very good 5-year plans, but that did not transform the lives of people. Look at the emerging economies. Look at Bangladesh, for example. The female labor force participation rate in your country is 25%, and it is 50% in Bangladesh. And Bangladesh, by the way, is a Muslim country. Majority population is Muslim in Bangladesh. Look at the birth rate they have controlled. And you are talking about all kind of nonsense in this country. Sometimes. So Bangladesh female labor force participation rate is 50%. One may argue that for last more than 30 years, the Bangladesh has been ruled by the females. Okay, one or the other. I mean, head of the government in Bangladesh has been female, not male. But merely being a female head will not translate into this. There are certain institutions which has to work very efficiently and very honestly, transparently to transform the lives of people. And in case of Bangladesh, as it was done in case of United States, you will be surprised to know that people's lives in United States were not transformed by the corporates. They were transformed by they all were transformed by the non-governmental organizations. Similarly, in Europe, After World War II, the rehabilitation that took place in Europe, the amount of devastation that took place in Europe, and the kind of transformation that took place in Europe was done by the non-governmental democratic organizations. We'll have to create such organizations. And of late, those who transform, जो हमसे भी खराब थे या हमारे बराबर से थे, चाइना फॉर एग्जाम्पल 1960 के दशक तक, कोरिया, and the Asian tigers, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam. Look at the kind of transformation they have taken place through positive intervention by the government through investment in the research and development. Four, very important, that will have to be very ethical. Your policymakers, your government, your leaders has to be ethical. एथिकल समझते हैं ना, और सिर्फ लीडर के एथिकल होने से नहीं होगा, आप सबको, हम सबको, each and every citizen, the value education, the ethical education, along with the skill and everything that was taught by my previous speakers, ethical is very important. Okay, so let me just stop it here. I hope I have not taken much time. So thank you so much once again. I will appreciate if I get some questions from these young minds. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your insights on various aspects of developed as well as developing nations. Your idea about dividend, debt, or disaster makes us rethink about the concept of Viksit Bharat.
Thank you all. Now we'll start with the Q&A session. So if you have any questions, mic will be given to you. Please raise your hand and ask the question. Okay.
Please feel free to ask the questions.
I think everybody is satisfied with the session. Is there any question from your end at the back? Am I audible? Hello? Yes. So I think
Somebody is asking. But please introduce yourself.
My name is Gayatri. I'm from BCom Honors second year. My question is for Sapna ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. So, ma'am, I was curious to know about how the Gurukul system collapsed.
it's a very beautiful question. What's your good name? A big round of applause for her. You're asking question, it's a big deal, no doubt. Yes, it's a very, very good question. And this question was there in my mind as well. We people was wish Guru, we was leading world like anything. We was making lot of things. We have provided zero. We have invented a number of things in terms of science and technology. Only thing is that when you don't provide character, you are working only on monetary aspects. Obviously, the problem will arise. Let me tell you one thing about Shri Ram and Ravan. The Ravan was more powerful. He has a knowledge and wealth. Sone ki Lanka. But what was not there? Only the character. So we feel like that, okay, we have everything and that will remain sustained. No, no, no. We have to preserve, we have to take care of all these things continuously. Otherwise, we are going to destroy it. And very important part is that rather than making money, out of education, we have to provide a character development. That's a very important part. And teacher-student relationship is very beautiful, I am telling you. If we are going to provide that type of touch to the student, obviously that Gurukul is everywhere. And we can start any time. So there was a Mughal problem was there and a number of problem was there and internal politics between fighting. ये पुरानी कहावत है जब दो बिल्लियां लड़ती है तो बंदर हमेशा उसका फायदा उठाता है. And it was like this in India too. So yes, there's an n number of reasons, but now we are working on it. We are providing lot of things और yoga and meditation सारे पाश्चात्य संस्कृति के लोग भी हमारे yoga and meditation को accept करते हैं. So I feel like that like this beginning. Thank you. Any other? Yes.
Vivek sir, my question is for you. When you were talking about unemployment, you mentioned that there are two categories. One being of the age of 22 to 25 and the other being of 25 to 29. And you said that the unemployment is the highest in the 22 to 25 age range. And in my understanding, that age range belongs to the people who are pursuing graduation or masters. Then, what is the reason that immediately after a person completes their masters, they suddenly become employable? Like, what skills are we lacking as graduate or master students that the employer doesn't want to employ us?
See, I try not to be too technical. Those who are out of the labor force, they are not included in the calculation of unemployment rate. So see, in 2 minutes, I just because most of you are doing either BCom or BB or economics honors, right? So labor force participation rate is calculated on the basis of those who are willing to participate in work. Okay, whether they are working or not working, there are two categories out of that. But those who are out of labor force, pursuing BA, MA, even PhD, are not part of the labor force. They are called out of labor force. As I said, only 25% female in this country are part of the labor force. Labor force participation rate is 25% for female, 70% for male. That means 75% female, they don't want to participate in work, labor. Therefore, they are not included. Now, what is the unemployment rate? Unemployment rate is unemployed divided by the labor force multiplied by 100. So, since you are pursuing a course, you are enrolled in education. Now, what are the status of all those who are out of labor force? Obviously, number one is what you said, enrolled in education, whether it is higher education or PhD or MA or BA or BSc, whatever. So your question, I think I have answered that those who are pursuing courses enrolled in education are not part of the labor force. They are called out of labor force. So they are not included in this definition, and they are not included while calculating this unemployment rate. I am talking about all those who are willing to work but unable to get work. That is the definition of unemployment. Okay. But again, if you include this, even if you include all those who are who are enrolled in education, you look at the NEP document Madam talked about. Look at the target of government of India to increase the enrollment rate in graduation. Even target is 50%. That means, what does that mean? That we are below 50%. Our target in national education policy is to increase the enrollment rate to 50% in higher education. Getting my point? Thank you so much.
Good morning, panel. My name is Pradam Sharma. I'm from BCom first year, and my question is to Sapna ma'am. Ma'am, what are some government initiatives to promote entrepreneurship in India?
Very good. There's a number of initiatives these days taking place. Your good name? Pratham. Okay, you are going to be a Pratham because initial will start from you only. The thing is that there's a n number of opportunities these days. I am a very much part of NSIC and NISBT. Let me tell you, if you want to learn something about entrepreneurship, the government of India providing free of cost diploma courses, and sometimes they are charging a nominal fees. There is Startup India, Digital India, Make in India, and Atmanirbhar Bharat. So many schemes going on. Because I mean, in this particular panel, telling them in a detail not possible. But whatever the detail you want, you can take my number from Geet ma'am, and I'm going to help you out. Recently, I launched a one program with the collaboration of NSIC and Shriram College of Commerce. That's the Artificial Intelligence program. And very soon we are going to launch one more program that is a diplomat relationship, which is very, very important because international relationships you can collaborate with a number of industries and diplomats. So I just want to tell you there is a n number of opportunity. There is a two sites you can check. That is one is NSIC, National Small Corporation India, where you will get all the short-term courses. There is a 128 programs. If you want to set up a ketchup factory, soya milk, and napkins, and if you want to contribute in like designing, fashion designing, or like stitching, there's an n number of programs. So yes, you can check the website, and if you want me to be connect with those sectors or those people with the ministry, I can align you. So yes, there is one is NSIC and second is NISBER, that is in Noida Sector 63. They have international programs also. So n number of people they are coming from out of India for taking the help how to develop the entrepreneurship and innovative ideas, because innovative ideas very important. Do you know one program? Modi ji has actually declared a one program that's चाय बनाई थी जो नाले का गैस था उसको पूरा करके उस चीज को बनाया था, and I was the person who was heading that project in the bus engineering college. And one person also developed one wonderful kind of things for the safety purpose. Like if you are driving and if any accident has been happened, automatically the message goes to your family. So this kind of innovative ideas is taking place. If you want to also part of this, yes, I can help you. Thank you.
We are running short of time, so we'll take only one more question. So, anyone?
Good afternoon to everyone. My question is to Sir Devesh, sir. Like we are talking about Viksit Bharat 2047, all the we are considering about the future, but the agreements made in past, like International Solar Alliance between India and France, what are the what would be the impact of those like that happened in like 2015, 9 years behind, that contributing to the success in the future?
Definitely, even my PPT was talk about this ISA plan. So almost more than 100 countries now be a part of this, and being a major this partner of this, we are promoting, we are including various countries into it, and the major destination, because that suits in terms of climate also, because the type of heat required, the other things required, India is having those strategic position. So definitely that in that term, it is really beneficial for us. But we cannot definitely forget the points raised by the Vivek sir, because I have limited time, so I place one part, and I'm really glad that the other part have been covered by Vivek sir. That that is the things I was talking about. That is the macro aspects, definitely one supply side thing. But in terms of demand side, because if we won't give a opportunity to all, fine, rural, urban, the different states, the different people, different social group, all those, if we could not able to cater all those problems, then Viksit Bharat doesn't work. Fine. So definitely we'll achieve all those things which you have talked about. Thank you.
Thank you so much for answering the questions. Now, as we are moving towards the end of the seminar, we would like to invite Ms. Renu to give a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to esteemed guests, my faculty members, and dear students. It is my pleasure and gratitude that I stand before you today to extend my heartily thank you on the behalf of Bharat Vidya Bhavan College for today's seminar, Billion Dreams, Trillion Dollar Economy, India's Journey Towards Viksit Bharat, with your pleasure and insightful contribution. First and foremost, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to our esteemed speakers, Dr. Devesh Birwal, Dr. Sapna Bansal, and Dr. Vivek Rajak, for sharing their profound knowledge and expertise, enlightening presentation, and have their pivotal topic on this seminar. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for your insights. I also would like to extend my gratitude to our principal, ma'am, Dr. Gitika Datta, for her support and guidance for this seminar. I also would like to extend my thank you to our HOD, Dr. Ritu Sharma, ma'am, for her guidance and mentorship throughout this journey. And foremost, I would like to express my thank you to the team, my dear students, for all the preparation and all the hard work they did to organize this event. Thank you everyone present here, and thank you all of you for attending this session. Again, thank you to all the speakers for accepting our invitation and sharing your thoughts for this session. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for coming here. Thank you, everyone. Last, one thing. After this event, please be seated here. Attendance in charges will take your attendance, so please mark your attendance and then leave this auditorium. Thanks.
So once again, on our behalf,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.